Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am super excited to be playing with Aqua Pigments, and I'm also going to be using this fun stamp set. It's called Life is Sweet. It has an ice cream shop, a little dude with an ice cream, some dogs, sentiments, and some clouds. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I'm going to start out with this fiber paper. So this is a really cool surface, and it has this cottony type of texture to it, but it's like a hard cottony. So it's not like your cotton clothes, and it's probably not even cotton, but that's what I think it is when I touch it. So I'm taking some Aqua Pigments here, and then I'm taking my splat brush. Now, a splat brush is just a brush that kind of looks like a blush brush that I pounce onto the paper. I only use this brush for pouncing techniques like this because it does ruin the bristles. It turns it into like this knotty mess. And I find that if I just keep one brush to do this with, I'm not ruining a whole bunch of other brushes. And my mom isn't going to yell at me. So I go ahead and just go ahead and cover this up. I'm pouncing it, and then I just decide that, you know what, I've got this extra media down on my mixed media mat, so I'm going to pull that up as well. So I'm going to let that dry and cover up my, or put the lid back on my Aqua Pigments. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in my stamp positioner, and I'm going to pull out the clouds from the stamp set here. So the heart clouds and the regular shaped clouds, and I'm just going to align them up just like you would any other sheet of paper. So you're treating your fiber paper surface like you would treat your cardstock in your stamp positioner. Now I am going to keep them close together like this. What that is going to do is allow me to get as many images as possible onto the fiber paper. So if I spread them all out and left a whole bunch of space between them, it would be more difficult to get a lot of images. So I go ahead and use my Raven detail ink, and now I'm just going to rearrange them here so that I can get more on there. Press down my stamp positioner, add some more of that beautiful black Raven detail ink, and now I've got these great lines. So I feel like I need some more, so I'm just going to keep going. Now, yes, I definitely could have turned my fiber paper around and stamped on the other side of that, but you know, sometimes those great ideas come to me when I'm doing the voiceovers and not when I'm actually doing the crafting. So I go ahead and get the stamps down one more time, and I will be fussy cutting out these clouds. So I want to make sure that there is enough room between them to go ahead and be able to fussy cut them out. So this is just a piece of paper that I'm kind of stamping off the stamps so that they can go back onto the backer sheet right here. So I am still working with this stamp set, so I'm not going to fully clean anything right now. If that is offending you, I'm so sorry. I know that there are crafters out there that clean every single stamp after every single moment. There are some that never clean their stamps. There are some that batch clean their stamps. I mean, it's just, it runs the gambit. So in this case, I just wasn't. Now I am using that Raven detail ink again, and I am doing this really cute ice cream shop right here. So the beautiful thing about a stamp positioner is that you can re-ink your stamp, flip that bad boy back on over there, and you are going to get an awesome stamped image. So I stamped this one off as well, and then I'm going to pull that stamp off and put it back on the backer paper too. Now I'm going to set that off to the side, and then now I'm going to fussy cut out my fiber paper. Now there is a little wrinkle there where I did not put any stamps, and that's because I was impatient, very impatient and started to use my heat tool to dry the fiber paper. And I kind of got the heat tool a little bit too close and it melted a little bit. So if you would have just left the fiber paper alone, it would not have melted a little bit. So now I am using my Aqua Pigments, and I am basically painting in this entire stamp set. Now guys, I am not a colorist. I'm not really a painter. I just fill in with color to what I think looks good. And I am about 99% of the time, I'm happy with the results. So that is my biggest suggestion to you. If you're like, oh, I don't think I could color that, or oh, I don't think I could do that. Yeah, you can. I'm not doing any kind of shading. I'm not doing any kind of extra. I'm basically just coloring in like I would color in a coloring book when I was a little kid. I'm not worried about light sources and all that kind of stuff. That is next level stuff that I just really don't want to be bothered with it. Like, I just don't. I took art in high school and we talked about those things, and we had these in college and we did these things, and it was great at the time, but for my creativity and my process and my enjoyment of my scrapbooking, I do what I want. I don't follow the design rules, and that has always been my biggest message for anyone that thinks that they can't do something because it's against the rules. Who cares? Seriously, who cares? Do what you want. Do what makes you happy. Use the products that make you happy. Like these products, card makers, big with card makers, right? I'm a scrapbooker. I dabble in cards, but primarily I'm a scrapbooker, and here I am because they make me happy. So use the stuff that makes you happy, guys, and I guarantee you that the Brutus Monroe products will make you happy. Now, I am going to lighten the Aqua Pigments down, and that is because I am doing this glass right here. Now, the great thing about these stamps is that there are some things on there that you don't even have to worry about. Like the glass already had like that little mirror line through it, and I just painted in 2 different colors, like because it's there. Like I didn't have to worry about that. It was already there, so I just colored it in. Now I am going to fussy cut this bad boy out. I'm going to go ahead and leave a small amount of white all the way around the outside of the edge of the stamped image. I just feel like leaving a little bit of white is an easier way of fussy cutting instead of fussy cutting all the way to the black outline. So now I have my little ice cream shop down. I have my 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to pull out the Art Deco paper pad. Now, this is, or the Pastel Deco paper pad. I always call it the Art Deco paper pad, but it's really Pastel Deco. So this is a ice cream truck, and it is from Harmony Creamery. Now, Harmony is a tiny little town in California, and I do mean tiny little town. I think like the population is 12 or 15, something like that, but it is great. It is a great little fun place to go through. There is pottery to purchase, glass works to purchase. It's all kinds of things, earrings, wall hangings, vases. They have this little ice cream truck and a little food truck. It's so delicious. People actually rent out the entire town for their weddings. And then they have a little winery up on the hill, and that was a fun time too. So now I am just using the Pastel Deco paper pad to figure out how to make this happen with my photo. So as you can see, I'm kind of struggling. At first I thought I was going to have my photo go off of the photo mat, and I didn't like that, so I trimmed down my photo down to 5.5, and that is my biggest tip, to use up 6x6 papers. If you're not using up your 6x6 papers, trim your photo down Of course, you're not going to trim that photo down if it's got, it's a one-of-a-kind vintage photo, or, you're going to cut off the most important part, but trim it down. And then you can get a nice photo mat out of a 6x6 piece of paper. So now I am layering up the pieces. I'm trying to figure out how I like this. I'm trying to figure out if I want things at an angle or if I want things straight. And, I'm just moving around the pieces and the parts until it looks good to me. And again, I cannot stress that enough. It has to look good to you. Like it's your project. It's your creation. You're the one that's doing this, so have fun with it. Now I decided to mat some pattern paper on a black piece of cardstock. I felt like I needed some weight. With the Pastel Deco papers and this big old ice cream truck, and then my stamped image is a pretty large size, I felt like it was kind of getting lost on that white background. I do love a white background, but in this case, I just felt like, it was just expansive out there and things were just plopped on it. So doing this, adding this pattern paper and then matting it with this black cardstock gives it a weight and a place for everything to kind of balance on instead of just floating out there in the white nothingness. So now I decided to go ahead and cut the edges of this paper sheet. There we go. And then, of course, I went ahead and trimmed that one down as well. And now I'm going to cut that piece apart so you don't even notice it. And then I'm going to spread it out so behind the photo, it looks like it's a much longer sheet of paper than the actual piece of paper that it is. So now I have my stamped and painted in piece here with those Aqua Pigments. And I'm going to pop it up on some pop foam and go ahead and peel those little pieces off. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick it down onto my layout. So I get that down there and I'm like, this is adorable. Do I care that my ice cream in my story is an ice cream truck and I am using an ice cream building as my embellishment decoration type thing? No, I don't care. It's all ice cream. It's all sweet stuff. It's all the good stuff. So now I have those fussy cut out clouds that we made out of the fiber paper. And I'm just trying to figure out where they should go. So I'm trying to build little cloud clusters. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to look at this and be like, okay, so these should go here and those should go here. And you can kind of see the variation in the color from my Aqua Pigments that I had used to do that with. So I get those, I think I got those adhered down, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp some more things. So again, I'm using that Brutus Monroe Black Raven Detail ink, and I stamp one of the sentiments down here by the shop, and then over here I decide that this is going to be my title up at the top of the page, and that's just going to be like decorating with words at the bottom. So I go to my stash and I grab some letter stickers, and I decide that the black ones are the way to go for this, and then I spell out the word scoop. So now I just have to figure out where they should go on my page, and I'm just ever so slightly overlapping them here on this Pastel Deco pattern paper. And now I have the stamp set again that I am going to pull out. Now, if you're feeling really bold, you can cut up your stamp set. You can cut up the words and separate them. I wasn't feeling really bold this time, so I went ahead and covered up the part that I did not want stamped with washi tape. So you just cover that up, you ink up your stamp, and then you pull off the washi tape. It's really important to pull off the washi tape, otherwise you're going to get that little bit of stamping still on the page. So I'm doing this, again, covering more things up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that down. And then I realize that my letters are in the way, so I pull those off so that I can get the actual word stamped. So the entire title is now The Sweetest Scoop. Since I pulled up those letter stickers, I had to add a little bit more adhesive down there. And now I'm looking at this and I'm loving it, and I feel like it is perfect. I just need a few lines of journaling. So I'm going to do that down here again underneath of the ice cream shop. I've already decorated with words down here, so it feels totally appropriate and right to go ahead and get my journaling down here at the bottom as well. So there it is, guys. That is going to do it. I will leave some links down below to some of the products I used if you're interested in checking any of them out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.